Scunny!
Are you local?
Now then, Scunny, welcome back to the Sunny Scunny podcast. Fantastic guest this week. So, we are sticking with the world of sport, as we did with Hendy. Although this week's guest has much more to him. He's graced the main stage at the world's most prestigious darts event. He's represented his country and won. Yeah. He's a proud husband and father, songwriter, budding guitar player. He's an author. He's written a book. Yeah. I'm still colouring mine in. But I think the proudest thing that he's achieved in his life, which we'll come to that in a little while, is probably that he's my mate. Yeah, so please welcome Dave Ladders Ladley.
180.
Dave, man.
How you doing, man? All right.
Dave, man. Brilliant. Nice to see you. Welcome down to the studio.
Fantastic in here.
It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, it's a spacious area. It's a shed, but it looks all right. Dave, I know you've just got off the plane from Denmark.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a little while. But how do you fancy a quickie?
Oh, yeah, go on then.
Oh, do you fancy a quickie?
Right, this is kind of a settler, an hors d'oeuvre if you like, a starter, just off top of your head. So question one, Berkeley or Barkley?
Berkeley.
Obviously is the right answer. Question two, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I think if it's classed as a superpower, I would like to go back.
You can
in
make
time.
your own up.
I'll make my own up. Just to go back in time, or just to have one further conversation with my dad, even if it was just for 5 minutes. I think I'd give everything I got apart from my family to actually have that again. You know, I miss the bloke so much, but I always think that he's taught me everything already, so his voice is in the back of my head.
Well, having known your dad, you're more than a credit to him, and we'll get onto that in a little while. But yeah, you can make your own superpower up. It's up to you, innit? Most people choose invisibility because they're perverts. Next question. Who's the most famous person you've ever met? You must have met some as well.
I'm not sure. I think Barry Hearn would probably be one of the most
Big
famous.
Baz.
Yeah, really good guy as well.
Really?
Yeah,
I've always had
driven.
I've always had an opinion that he's like a pretend gangster.
Yeah.
I don't, he's probably absolutely unfounded.
Mm.
He looks like in the old films, I think they used to call them spivs, which were like little pretend gangsters, yeah. But Barry Hearn.
Yeah, I would say, I mean,
He's
dart
done,
players,
you're undenying what he's done for sport.
yeah, I mean, the dart players, it's kind of a standard, you know. I knew Eric Bristow, I've played darts with Phil Taylor, I've met all these people, but it's kind of a standard that you're going to do that. But to meet Barry and for him to know who I was as well at the time was
That's
really
conscientious, isn't it? So
It's
he
really
clearly goes out
Oh,
of his way to
what-
try and understand
Yeah.
and learn a bit about the people he's going to meet.
And before all of the updates that you would get automatic online and such, he used to sit at home with all the stats and he would update his own rankings, so he knew where he was going to be. He was really driven for the sport, and he's managed to boost it, hasn't he? Like he has.
Could he play?
I doubt it very much.
Really?
Yeah, I doubt it very
To say somebody who's done so much for darts,
Yeah.
and he couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo, probably.
I think he saw an opportunity. There was something there. There was the young audience there. There was an average age in the audience about 23. You know, he saw something that was marketable, and he could clean it up so he didn't have lots of the stuff that brought it down in the 80s.
The stuff that I liked.
Yeah.
The stuff that you tuned in to watch.
Yeah. But there are some characters now. The old characters are obviously gone, but there are new characters out there, and it's really good to watch. And yeah, he just backed that and did a really good job with it.
I think it is just classed as a viable sport. It was kind of a hobby pastime for many years, wasn't it? In the early days.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, I mean, didn't they? Have I dreamt this, or was it even represented at the Olympics at some point?
It's never been.
Has it not?
No.
Because do they not?
It's not classed as a sport, I don't think. But
To the Olympic standard.
Yeah, when archery is, it seems it's
and
there's
shooting,
always been
shooting
there's been
as
a bit
well.
of an argument about it for years.
And that other thing, pissing about with a ribbon.
Yeah,
but practicing all your life to be the best art player isn't.
I guess it's not. But in the future, maybe it's going to be. But they need to find out which body actually represents the countries and stuff. So it'd be good. It'd be good to have that, definitely.
Yeah, it is because the Olympics is still classed as amateur, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that would be amazing for the best amateur to be chosen to do that.
Yeah, there are a few organisations out there now. I'm not sure that one of them could do it, but there has to be quite a lot of work into it to get it, I think. Because unfortunately, lots of the events are still played with a bar round, and at your best clay pigeon shooting events, you're not going to have a bar, are you?
Not the best to have a bar around guns, is it?
Probably not.
No. Otherwise, that's basically called bush beating.
Yeah.
Yeah. To you, what's more believable, ghosts or aliens?
I would say aliens.
Disclosure's coming in the next 2 months. You heard it here first.
I've seen you as an alien.
No, that was Fred.
Oh, was it?
That was Fred, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
What would your specialist subject be if you were on Mastermind? Because you know shitloads about everything.
Yeah.
Not a lot about one thing, but shitloads about everything.
Yeah, I don't know what it'd be. Obviously, the obvious one is some darts facts. That's obvious.
I don't know. We've got some darts facts later.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. I've had internet access. I'm all over it.
Oh, you've had that back, have you? You've got it back.
And lastly, what from your youth that's no longer here, what pub, shop, or building of significance that meant something to you growing up, if you could bring it back, which one would it be? I think I know what this would be.
I think there's a couple. That on your shirt's quite an iconic place, isn't it, to go meet. Everybody who didn't have a mobile phone before them,
I'll meet
you at the clock.
I'll meet you at clock.
Yeah.
But but it was done on statues, so you could only sit at the top if you was one of the older kids.
Yeah, that's it.
We were the raggy asses down the bottom. You had to work your way up, didn't you?
I think that Henry Africa's is one of them, I think.
Do you know I'd have had you down as somewhere we'll get to in a little while. The first time, I'll tell the story of the first time I ever noticed you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you got your own clothing range?
No.
No, that'll be me, won't it? That'll be me. Urban Scunny. Lots of new T-shirts on the way. Right, come on. Let's get into it. 180! I've got a bloke doing that. Who's the bloke who does it now?
There's a few.
Gubby or something. I don't know. Anyway, I've sampled it, so we'll have that in a bit. Right. Tell us briefly about Denmark.
Denmark.
He won some florins.
Yeah, I won a few, not too many, but I lost in the last 32. I'd done quite a bit of practice going into it. I think there was about 400 entries. To get the last 32 is not too
Decent.
bad. I would have liked to have done a bit better. I lost 4-3 in the last 32, and I felt like, well, if you look at the stats, I was getting better as the days went on, whereas the guy that beat me fell off a little bit, and he just went off and just by chance. I think that I could have probably done a little bit better if I'd have just won that game. And it was 4-3, and it was all down to the bull off, really. He won the bull, I left 60, and he finished, and that's it. You lose 4-3, and game over.
By the same token, the week after, you win 4-3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Literally,
and it could be the same bloke.
Thickness of a wire.
Yeah.
It's literally that.
Yeah.
It's there's so much luck, but I like to think you do make your own luck.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, darts for me, when you were growing up, darts was something we asked about with. Not many people actually owned a dartboard. You had to go to the pub. And then your dad wouldn't let you have the darts. But we were more into like your football players and your sports. I've said time and time again, sports in the late 70s and early 80s was magnificent. It was a halcyon period of characters, if nothing else. It was bloody wonderful.
I mean, as growing up, watching the likes of Jockey Wilson and Cliff Lazarenko and Dave Whitcomb, and to think, I played Jockey Wilson, I played against him in an exhibition. I met Dave Whitcomb, I met Cliff Lazarenko. He actually marked a game for me back in the 90s, and it's just amazing that I actually got to play kind of like a crossover period with them characters.
Yeah, because I mean, you were young.
Yeah.
When you were getting well into it.
Yeah, it was, and I was 13, 1988, and when I was kind of breaking into doing pretty good, and I get to like 16, and you've got lots of life choices at that point. I wanted to do a lot of darts, and there wasn't really that much of a tour to follow, and I probably had the ability to take it from there. And I often think that if I was born in an era 10 years before I was actually born, I'd have been spot on. Or if I was born 10 years after, I'd have also been spot on. Because now, if I was that age playing that well, I'd have got a sponsorship, and there's all these tours you can go on to, and you get spotted, and you work through the different levels.
And at 13 to 16, locally, counties was about the only level you could achieve to.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I did,
which was massive, and it was a big deal.
Oh yeah, if you played a county player, that was a massive thing. Like if you played a county player, and then I represented the county at 15. So to do that, you had to be pretty good, and you're playing alongside guys who played for 30 years, got all this experience. They're all drinking as well. You're drinking pop.
I was going to say, have you ever been on the lash with Andy Fordham?
I've been alongside him when he's had a...
Drink 20 bottles of lager he'd get through in a session.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's only lager. We're going to try and beat that today. But he wouldn't be supping 20 pints of Old Rosie, would he? No.
I remember playing again, it was a county game, it was Lincolnshire versus Essex. And I think he was on last that day. He played a guy called Rob Smith. And he sat down all day and just drunk his Holston pills, and the table was covered with the Holston pill bottles. He hadn't practiced. He stood up, went on stage, averaged 100, and come back down and sat down and carried on drinking. Just fantastic, but an absolutely lovely bloke.
He must have been difficult to talk to, though, because he was a Viking.
Yeah.
Why did they call? Was it just because of
just
his
the
long
way he
hair?
looked to the long hair,
And because he had a big beard?
Yeah.
I'd have called him more a redneck.
Yeah, I remember watching him probably in the early 90s and thinking, who is this guy? Because he wasn't that size at that point. He was a big unit, but he wasn't that size. And then when he went on, can you remember that Fat Club that was on telly? He went on that. It was like a celebrity Fat Club.
Yeah.
And I was sat down with my missus. We were watching telly, and they said, "When did you realise you was getting overweight?" He said, "I was 25 and I was 16 stone." And my missus said, "How old are you?" I said, 25. She said, "What do you weigh?" I said, 16 stone. But luckily,
I'd been happy with that at 25.
Yeah, I'm now 50 and 14 stone, so I've managed to keep myself roughly together.
That's just through constant nagging and bad sandwiches from me missus for work.
Yeah, it's just,
if you lived on your own, you'd be double sized,
probably,
as we all would. It was interesting you said there about because I've got this image in my mind. The first time I came across Dave, I was at Winteringham. Dave was brought up in Winteringham, all his family from there. And I lived at Winterton. And my dad used to take us to Winteringham fishing at the Nest.
Oh, yeah.
Down, I can't remember what street it is.
West End, isn't it?
West End,
West End
down
Green.
that way.
Yeah.
And there was a wonderful pond there, but my dad couldn't not go to the pub, so he dragged us up to the pub. And it was the ferry boat, which is no longer there, sadly. And there's this kid in the corner. There's my dad talking to a bloke at the bar. They've both been very boisterous. That was my dad and his dad, Icky, top man. And I'm watching this kid who's 7 years younger than me, and he's hitting 180s for fun. I might have dreamt this. I was struggling to hit the board, and he was doing 180s, and he would have been, I think I would have been 15 then at the time, 15 or 16, so you were young, and you were lobbing darts at a board and doing well. Have I dreamt that?
Yeah, I was a little bit older. I was probably 12 at the time, but yeah,
Right.
so you'd have been 18, 19 or something. And but yeah, it was that all did happen. I would be there all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Yeah.
The horse racing was on the telly. I remember there, and the bets would be taken and rung through, and everyone huddled around a little portable TV that you'd sit on a little
Yeah,
table in
yeah.
the corner, and you know, all the characters that were around that village at the time, like, you know, Bill Arnott.
Both
And
the villages,
yeah,
you know.
it's just amazing, amazing sort of atmosphere in them places, wasn't it?
Well,
So,
they only used
yeah.
to take the kids to the pub so we could drive them home. That happened. So yeah, that was the proper early days. I do remember that.
I think the smoke-filled pub as well. It had low ceiling in there, and everything was yellow, wasn't it? And
Yeah, occasionally when they'd move a picture off the wall, it was just rancid behind it, wasn't it? It was
it's
like,
terrible.
put the picture back.
get a bigger one.
God, I was gigging in them places as well.
Yeah.
And my gear, I was a smoker then, so I didn't notice it. But a number of years later, I had a backdrop with mash on it. And I put it in a bag in a shed for like 10 years, and I came back to it and, oh, it's that. And it went, fucking hell. It just reeked. It reeked more than our art teacher, Joe Downs. Because we went to the same school. That's why we're both bohemians and authors and writers and musicians. Yeah. But, like Dave, we spoke briefly about it, academically, it's fair to say we were both fuckwits. Didn't really apply ourselves, did we?
No.
I hated school with a passion.
I
Hated it.
and it's in my book when you come to it. It'll. My dad said to me one day, you know, what do you want to do, Dave? I was like 14. He said to me, I'll back you whatever you want to do. If you want to take this darts and take it and go for it, not do your schoolwork, I'm behind you. Now, that's probably not the right sort of decision or thing to say to a 14-year-old that's already.
I would say it is.
Yeah.
I would trust somebody who cares about their
Yeah.
offspring
Yeah.
rather than
happy, you know.
rather than forcing them down the academic route and giving up their passion.
Yeah.
He backed you in your passion.
Yeah, he did.
That's
and
top notch.
I did that, and
And you'd do the same with your kids.
Yeah, I did that. I didn't do particularly well. I did okay, and then after that, when I got working, that's when I studied and ended up with 2 degrees and a good job, and yeah.
Just
and
run that by me again.
2 degrees.
2 degrees.
Yes, that's like the temperature in here, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
And then obviously writing the book as well. So you know that is something. Well, there's a reason for that.
And we left school barely able to do joined up.
Yeah.
And then you're writing a book.
You could write, couldn't you? I struggled with that, writing it.
I didn't struggle with it, but I got chastised because, and this will ring a bell with a lot of people, because I'm left-handed predominantly, particularly at writing. We had really cheap pens back then, so they were quite inky and they would leave a lot of smudging and stuff. So if you're left-handed, you're going across what you've written as opposed to being right-handed. So my work was always a bit scratty and a bit smudgy. The content was good, but it was always messy, so I was forever getting a bollocking for having messy writing. But it was because I was left-handed and had shit pens.
You see, I always felt like when I was at school, it was my brother was 3 years older than me, and he'd been a bit of a terror at school.
Really?
so I think that there was half ready for Sean Mark II to come to school, and it wasn't a Sean Mark II. You know, me and him were probably as far apart of characters as
Polar
possible.
opposites, character-wise,
But,
in many ways.
But yeah, you know, he was obviously my brother and meant a lot to me, but he was totally different to me, and they were all ready for another Sean, and all of a sudden it was a Dave, and I think that some of that didn't help me as well.
I had a similar thing with my eldest brother, Colin. He got expelled. But he wasn't that bad a kid, but he got expelled, so they were expecting another Baxter to be a twat. And to be honest, I didn't let him down. I was a lot worse than my brother. He only had about a week to go and he got expelled. I had nearly a full fucking year. But we've done all right, mate. We've done all right. So why darts? Your earliest experience, can you remember?
Yeah, I can remember watching telly and watching. It always seemed to be on darts, didn't it?
It always seemed to be on a Saturday on World of Sport.
Yeah,
didn't it?
and like the early 80s especially. So I'd be like 6 or 7 years old, probably maybe round about there. My dad had a dartboard at the bottom of our hallway, and that was on the wall there, and he'd play on that a bit. So I'd seen that, but obviously I couldn't reach that. I was too young, and I remember just wanting to play darts and to see what it was all about, and just addicted to watching it on telly. So I just wanted a dartboard, and my dad's mates, they used to go to a pub, and they brought me this dartboard and a set of darts, and all I did was sit with it on the floor, and I was just throwing darts into it and clicking them together. I kind of got addicted to the clicking noise. Then I found that wherever I could throw it, I could follow and make them click together. And I realised that I'd got something there, so I slowly moved it further and further away until I was still doing it at a good distance, but not high enough. And then when my dad put it on the wall for me, I beat him when I'd be about 10 years old. It was on top of my chest of drawers.
You beat him?
Yeah. And he says, well, let's put that on the wall in the right measurement and we'll see how you get on. So after 2 weeks, I said, come on then, let's have another game. And kind of what he'd said, I beat him, and then I beat him again, and I think he was like, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable." So he called my uncle up, my uncle Paul. You know,
I mean, the
Paul
thing
Fenwick.
is as well, just to interrupt for a second, most dads could play darts.
Yeah.
Because it was part of your pub culture.
My dad was a good player.
Yeah, so to beat your dad was a big deal. I'm surprised if that had been me with my lad, I'd have took the dartboard off him and he'd never play again.
He called my uncle up. Honestly, he called my uncle up. He called another uncle up from Barton, Uncle Melly. He'd come over. The bedroom was full, and he's show him what you've been doing. And so, you know, banging these tons and 140s in. He just couldn't believe it. So, you know, from then on, I thought, well, actually, maybe I can do this better than I thought. So, I just...
But there was no outlet for kids there, was there? You couldn't go play anybody.
You couldn't
Other than be like a side thing in a pub.
Yeah.
Watch what my lad does.
Yeah, so
you couldn't represent anybody.
I'd take my dartboard, I'd walk down to the pub with it, I'd put it up on a Saturday and a Sunday. That's probably when you've seen it.
You took your dartboard down the street.
Because it was... The board at the pub wasn't right, and I just wanted it to be right, and I could play better on my board, and that was newer and looked fresher.
That'll be why I was shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's where you...
Because I didn't have my own ball.
yeah.
I'm just picturing you walking,
I used to do it, yeah.
walking down the boozer with a dartboard. There goes Dave.
And when I'd finished, I'd walk with it back as well, and everyone's thinking, "Well, where's the board gone? We've put this old crap
That's
on
my board.
Yeah, it's my board.
Yeah, that's like the kid who was shit at football.
Yeah,
but the football was his. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going home now. No, leave it. No, I'm taking my ball.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, bloody no, that's child prodigy stuff. That.
Yeah, I was so. Over the years, I've got kind of addicted to lots of things. Nothing particularly bad for me. Whether it's saying I'm going to write that book, studying the darts, studying like the guitar, and doing writing.
But that's good though.
When I've written songs and stuff.
I'm all for people think it's derogatory to have like an addictive personality, but I don't think so, because you're never on something for too long before something else stimulates your imagination. You want to try that. So
right at the minute, like 2 weeks ago now, I found a new set of points that I can use for my darts.
Yeah.
So I've had them in for a fortnight, and I've been practicing like mad to try and get these points working for me the best that I can. And I've seen some absolutely terrific results so far.
Really?
So I'm thinking maybe this is like a little breakthrough, because
something
sometimes
like that could make that much of a difference.
5%. You know, that game at 4-3.
Yeah.
5%. I might have won it 4-1. It's that tight. It's that tight.
Who was the guy who used to have massive fat darts?
There's a few. Dave Whitcomb used to have a big set of darts, didn't he? And thump them in the board.
You couldn't believe that you could get 3 of them in a 180.
And Leighton Rees as well, the big Welsh fella.
Yeah.
He used to use the big bomb darts, or almost like there was like onions.
I was reading somewhere yesterday, I can't remember his name, was it Paul Warrener?
Yeah.
He played with 3 different darts and didn't even realise. And even in competitions, it took him a long while to realise they weren't matching darts.
Yeah.
How can you not know that?
I think
you must get such a feel for something.
Yeah, you do. But you talk about
but they're your little geniuses out there.
Yeah,
they're the ones who it wouldn't have mattered to them if he'd have probably rectified it. It'd have been shite.
Yeah, you never know. At the end of the day, lots of it relies on natural ability.
Yeah,
and I've got that in abundance.
Put a right-handed guitar strung properly in Jimi Hendrix's hand, it'd have been shite.
Yeah.
It would do it the other way. Genius.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. You know, and people like that, they've just had the same addiction as me, but with something else. When I had a guitar at 13, and I would love to have learned it, but it meant I'd have had to read books to do it, and I just didn't have the patience to do that. Yeah. Well, now you got YouTube. I could learn off YouTube and see some videos and see some tricks. And
do you know, I'm like that. You've mentioned me about me cooking. I cannot cook. I love cooking. I can't cook to a recipe, though. I have to cook to a video. If I can see it happening on a video, I can do it. Yeah. But if you write it down, not a fucking chance. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Technology must have moved on drastically as well. Although it's still the basic same game, the technology of the darts themselves, you'll show us your darts in a bit, you know.
Yeah, the technology
the
of them.
Works of art, some of them, aren't they?
Yeah, some young lads will say to me, you know, I've got this set up and it's a flight and stem combined and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, I'm still on the old stems. I've tried all them.
Bangy flights.
Old
They
stems,
used to use turkey
flights.
feathers, did you know that?
Yeah. And paper flights, people used to fold them up for
Yeah.
ages and put them in there, yeah. But, yeah, obviously I'm not on paper flights, but as a kid I would laugh at anybody who had feather flights.
But I would think, I remember the feather flight, but I would think, by the same token, fishing. That's the difference when people used to use feathered quills for floats.
Yeah.
And then they're using a high-tech 30 quid float that's made from carbon fibre. It's the same thing, isn't it? It all moves on. But
it does the technology.
But it still is basically the same game.
Yeah,
that's what I love about darts. It's the same game.
It's the same length. The dartboards, because the technology of making the dartboards is a lot better. So the wires used to be big round wires, and if you sat anywhere near the dartboard, you'd probably get a dart in your head. You know, but now you don't get that many bounce outs because the wire is that thin. It's like razor wire, and it's really embedded all the way through the board. And so the boards are better, and the visibility of the trebles means there's slightly more of a scoring opportunity in the treble. And the darts are smaller. You know, generally, you know, the technology with the dart means that people are using longer points, longer darts, and more visibility. You know, obviously, it's then the rest of it down to practice.
Yeah, but you've still got to have, like your dad saw in you, natural ability. Yeah,
the thing is, the darts game is made up with a number of things. Natural ability is the first thing. So there are lots of you'll have known natural players that you'll have seen in the pub before. You've got that. Then you need to be a good counter. So that's number 2. You need to
Were
remember.
you any good at
these.
maths?
Yeah, I was good at maths.
Was
yeah,
you? Because that's the one thing I am absolutely shocked at.
Yeah, I was really good, and counting down from these scores, I was brilliant at. But so if you're good at that, then you need to be able to stick at something, and then you need to have the patience and be able to practice. And when you've cracked all of that, you need to have the right attitude and the right sort of personality to get beat. Because sometimes you do get beat, and it's coming back from getting beat that's the hard thing.
Yeah, you'll learn more from losing than you ever will winning.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, you do. There's more opportunity. There's things that you can tidy
That's
up.
the same. Same goes with my job. I would rather take a constructive criticism than a compliment any time of day, because I can learn more from that than a compliment.
Yeah, I look at the 6 Ps, and the piss ball preparation equals piss ball performance, and if you think about them all the time, then that through my working life has been the same. I will, because I've done what I've done in the darts, I recognise when I might have made a mistake at work. I'm the one that will go, I've ballsed up there, I'll put that right, then I'll put steps in to make sure that I don't do it again.
Yeah,
and I'll kind of do it with the team as well.
I'll generally blag it and try and cover it up, or blame Rachel.
That's always
which is the beauty of having a duo.
Yeah.
You don't get duos at darts, do you? A great deal.
Not really.
Only in pairs, but it's never been a pairs game, has it?
No, they've dabbled on it over the years. There's been some of them. There used to be a world pairs event and that, but yeah,
because that translates to tennis. You can have your wonderful tennis players who are fantastic solo. Some of them are better as pairs.
Yeah.
But darts has never took off as pairs, has it?
No, not really, no. And
do you think that's the characters?
Yeah, probably. And it's rhythm as well. So if you think about getting a go every 2 goes or getting a go every 4 goes, there's quite a lot of time in between to keep your patience and your confidence and your concentration together. And you've also got an opportunity to see everything that's going on around you. And sometimes it's a bit too much. Whereas if you're playing singles, you can throw your 3 darts, come round. Generally, if you're not playing a really slow player, you'll just you'll be able to have enough time to just take a couple of breaths, watch them walk away, and then
I think momentum's huge, isn't it?
Oh, it's massive.
In every dart player.
It can swing.
Who's the fastest?
And there's a lad called Ricky Evans from Northamptonshire. Fantastic kid. Really fast thrower. I think, don't quote me on it, but I think he can throw 3 darts in less than 3 seconds and hit 180s like that.
What, is he chucking them all at the same time?
More or less. If you watch him, it's just unbelievable. Which is great when it's going for you, but when it's not going for you, it's quite difficult to keep.
But if you're a slow player,
playing against that,
and
that's where I'm talking about the psychological side.
Yeah, because even if you were a mid-tempo player, you would try your hardest to slow him down, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah,
just to put him out of his momentum.
If you can just not,
which is basic shithousery, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it kind of happens. It can happen. I've seen it happen to me, and I've been able to turn it the other way and stuff. So
because you do get fallouts on the hockey, don't you?
Yeah, it happens. At the end of the day, you 2 guys usually 2 guys competing for money, and it can cause problems. And years in pubs, I've seen it cause problems. People paying for a pint or something that could fall out. So it's only kind of the same, but escalated in money, like, because there's a lot of money about.
I think the what's the word? The showmanship of darts, particularly the modern era. It's like you've got to choose a goodie or a baddie, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's a good thing. Yeah, I think that's really good.
You very rarely get 2 goodies, do you?
No, you don't. And even the goodies can fall out with each other as well, and you can see that because there's that element. Because these people, when you carve out all of them things that I've talked about, they're generally one type of character, and they don't like losing. No. None of them.
No.
I definitely don't like losing. Don't make me a bad loser. I'm not a bad loser.
No.
I'll shake hands. I'm mad with myself. But actually, somebody once said, "Show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser." And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So,
No, I can't stand.
I can be
losing.
outwardly good.
Yeah. And it's not a game as well. This is another thing that I find darts unique about. It's not a game you can cheat at. You cannot cheat at darts. Unless the guy who's doing the scoring is a fuckwit.
Yeah.
You can't cheat,
I've seen every scenario you can think of. Yeah, but I remember my mate playing online.
But there ain't a dart scam. There's not an obvious cheat, is there?
My mate played online and he lost to this guy during the COVID sort of area. And then when he lost in the final, this guy had played brilliant. But when you watch the camera back, you've seen where the dartboard was. His hand was coming past. So he was probably only throwing from about 2 foot. So that might be classed as cheating.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Why is it law in darts law that it's at that length and that height?
Yeah, it goes right back. I don't know.
Because I read somewhere about a guy who had done a competition at the old 9 foot.
Yeah.
It used to be at 9 foot.
It probably did, but I've never played at that. Do you remember the News of the World Championship? That used to be played at 8 foot. Okay. So generally now you play 7 foot 9 and a quarter. That's the standard.
Even that just sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
just go 7-9, whatever.
But the distance from the hockey to the bullseye at 5 foot 8 is 9 foot 7. So you can get it straight away, and if you get them calculations wrong, your board's up near the ceiling somewhere. Yeah. So you'll know you've got it wrong. Like
I would say you must know that. Like the likes of me, will just lob shit at a board.
Yeah,
but you would know if something's off straight away, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you can go in and I can probably find the mark without even measuring it and say it's there. It helps the fact that I'm 5 foot 8 because that's to the bullseye. So unless I shrink over the years, that's pretty standard. The bullseye's top of my head.
But women don't.
It's all the same.
Is it?
Yeah, it's all the same for everybody. Yeah.
So why is them other lines there on them mats?
There used to be some other leagues.
Have they just got loads of mats left over that are still stuck in pubs?
Or loads of white paint.
I love those places. I love those places you get to when there's a wing nut on the end of a piece of wood.
Yeah.
And it's just in the middle of the pub.
You must have fallen over.
And every fucker falls over it, yeah. Because normally I'm setting up in a pub singing, like going back to the 90s. And I'd be setting up and I'd trip over this fuck. I'd say, what's that? Oh, it's dartboard, mate. It's where dartboard goes. Right. He says, well, can you take it out the floor just for tonight?
I got a guy come round to take an electric reading from me one day. And he walked into my garage to go take the reading from the meter. Well, he went flying over my hockey line. he was in a heap at the corner. Like I said, "Are you all right, mate?" I said, "It's up here. This reading." He was like, "Yeah. What's that?" I said, "Oh, that's my hockey."
Yeah, what's that, mate? Well, yeah. Can you not see the dartboard there, mate?
Don't stay there too long, or you have a dartboard on your head as well.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You walk on theme.
Yeah, generally,
It's a bit much just for bottom pub, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is. You generally just have a walk-on song for your county walk-up.
Right.
I haven't played county now for about a year and a half, maybe a bit more. And
only because I know music means a lot to you, which we will come to.
It does, and I was thinking, that,
you've got a mate called Mash, who's a songwriter. You could quite easily use one of his.
Yeah, if I ever go back to county, I'll go with that. There was I have Avicii, Wake Me Up, but I did have Amarillo for a while. That was my walk-on song, and I had Moving On Up by
M People,
which they were all like based on trying to get the crowd going a little bit, and that helps. But I was thinking about having Hungry Eyes, just because when it's sung, it sounds like Humberside. Yeah. To try and get the crowd going, but I never actually got to that.
Plus, there's no county called Humberside.
Yeah, I know, but there's still a county team called Humberside.
Yeah. There's still Humberside Police as well.
Yeah.
There's still Humberside Airport.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to stop you there, Dave.
Okay.
I haven't got a sponsor for this week's show. So any Scunthorpe businesses out there, If you want to mention, you want to sponsor the Scunny podcast, drop us a message. Slip in my DMs. I don't know what that means, but I heard it. A kid was on about it. So yeah, if you'd like to sponsor the Scunny podcast, give us a shout. You don't even have to be a business. You could be somebody who just simply wants to tell your wife that you love them. Yeah, and that you're very, very sorry and didn't mean it. We've all done it. Give us a shout. Get sponsoring.
Are you local?
Dave, one of my favourite stories you ever told me, just because I know A, the player, B, your family, C, the setting. Very familiar with all three of those things. So I'll throw it over to you. You know the story I'm talking about. It's a classic.
Yeah, I used to play on a Thursday night at the Lion's Head, and you'll remember the Lion's Head. I played for them for a number of years. Great little pub, and it's a shame to see that's no longer
Every
there.
pub had a darts team.
Yeah, that's no longer there. It was a nice place, and I was playing there. My dad says you must get done early because I've got a game I need to take you to. And at the Bottom Club in Winterton, which you know that venue quite well, kind of got in that club, and my dad had put me down to play John Lowe. So
To play John Lowe.
John Lowe.
Yeah. So I know you've got something on, Dave, but if you can just nip back, you're going to play John Lowe.
I was like, yeah, of course. 701, I played him, and they got me into.
Why 701?
It was just
that the thing back then?
Yeah, it was just one leg he was playing against
really?
everyone. Rather than best of three, it was one leg 701.
Okay.
So I was like, right, okay, I'll.
Seems a lot when you're getting 26 all the time.
Yeah. Well, I just managed a bit more than that, I think. But I can remember I had these trainers on with massive. Do you remember the big tongues that used to come out of the trainers that were quite trendy at the time? I had them on, and I remember...
They were only trendy Wintringham.
Yeah.
Winterton,
Yeah.
it was a no-no.
So yeah, the place was bloody packed. I didn't expect it to be like that, and obviously...
Because it was.
I'd gone...
Wintringham's best dart players due. Oh, and John Lowe was on.
Yeah, that's it. So I got called up, and it was £50 if you beat him. So I thought, if he gives me a chance, I could beat him. I could probably beat him.
Did that come out of his pocket?
I think he was sponsored by LCL at the time.
Right.
You know, the pills brand.
Yeah,
They must have been the brewery down there at the time, LCL.
Because you would think he'd let a couple of people have a bit of a win.
Yeah. Well,
But your pride alone, you can't let people win, can you?
And the day before, well, he told a story after it, which I'll finish this one and I'll tell you what he told us. So I played him and beat him down to the double, left double 16 for £50 to hit double 16.
That would have been your favourite double as well,
Oh,
wouldn't it?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I thought there's no way I'm going to miss this. I just put 3 darts close on the wire and he finished and beat me. But
You had 3 goes at it.
I had 3 darts at it and missed it.
You had one job to do.
I know. Well, I had 2. I had a bit of scoring to do. But, yeah, so I missed it. I was gutted because 50. I think my dad was on about 100 quid a week.
Yeah.
So he'd have probably said, we're halves, Dave, because I got your name down.
You really thought you'd have got half.
So yeah, that was good. A better story than that. I got invited once to Glanford Park, and at Glanford Park in the little bar, there was Phil Taylor was doing a roadshow, which was a bit of an exhibition, and I'd be about probably 21 by then. And they was doing the World Match Play draw at Glanford Park, and I was there, and Sid Waddell was there, Phil Taylor was obviously there. They got a bit bored up, so they was going to do a small exhibition. And my dad somehow, again, done all the talking, got me in there. And my dad was all over, like Phil Taylor's manager and that. He's like,
Your dad was very charming when he wanted to be.
He says, he said, my lad's going to beat Phil tonight. He was doing all this talk. And the guy probably wanted rid of my dad. And he said, I'll tell you what, if he beats him, I'll sponsor him. And my dad's come over to me, sat down, he said, right, over to you, boy. He said, I've done all my bit. You just need to beat him.
Yeah, you've only got to beat the best dart player in the world to get sponsored.
So played him, and again, I think it would have been 701, because I ended up on 121, and he was on 176, and I thought, I could win this. But he hit 140, left double 18, and that's what Taylor was like. And I thought, right, here's my opportunity. Treble 20, 11, so I want the bull, and I hit the 25 right on the wire. And we talk about the width of the wire, it was the width of the wire. And he hit the double 9 with the last dart. And that guy must have been thinking, shit, I've just said if he beats him.
Set him up.
And my dad was like, I can't believe it, you lost.
You're no son of mine, you're walking home.
Yeah, but yeah, again, two good
So
stories.
it was the wire that did you again?
Yeah. Should take them out, shouldn't
I'm no dart player, but have you ever tried aiming just this side of the wire? Not at the wire? Because you're very precise.
Where were you 37 years ago?
37 years ago. Young offenders, I think.
Yeah, well, if you hadn't been in there, you could have come and told me. We'd have been all right then. We could have gone halves or thirds with my dad.
But you have more than made up for that, because there are certain accolades in sport which are only attainable through sheer persistence, through class, through natural ability. You're 147 in snooker, okay? And equally, a 9-darter. Dave, have you had a 9-darter?
I have, yes.
Really?
Yeah, I've had a few.
Even though the wire's there?
Even though the wire's there. Well, on that occasion, I missed the wrong side or the right side.
So you've had 9-darters in competition?
Yeah, I've had 2 in competitions and about
God, whoever's playing
12.
you, that surely that's at the point where they're so chuffed for you, regardless of who you're playing, because that's the thing, you think, fuck me, how good is that?
On the 2 occasions that I hit him, the first one was against a lad called Shane Townsend. I hit it with the first leg in the Yorkshire Classic. And the second leg, I set off with 2 trebles in the next throw, and I thought, God, if I hit another 180, I think my head's going to explode. I was that fired.
I mean,
up.
you're still having to play within yourself without getting giddy, aren't you? I mean, if that was me, T-shirt had been over my head, I'd have been fucking running around the place.
At the time, I mean, 9-darters are hit quite often now, but 9-darter at the time, none had been hit, I don't think, in Yorkshire, and I hit like the first one, and Yorkshire was one of the best counties, so they wasn't heard of. Whereas now, there's quite a lot of them heard of. And my second one was against a guy called Nick Fulwell, and I played him in the UK Open at Wigan. And again, I think I was losing 5-1. And I hit the 9-darter to make it 5-2,
Wow.
And then lost 6-2. But trying to get over that when you've hit the perfect leg, it's really
you
hard.
can't.
Yeah.
With the best will in the world and the best, ability to withhold your emotions, you can't.
Yeah, it's something.
You can't. You must do it a lot in practice.
Yeah, I've done it quite a bit in practice, but if you...
Yeah, I've done it quite a bit in practice. I've hit 180 in my life, and I'm not sure I actually did it. I don't know whether I dreamt that, or I made it up, or I was a little bit closer than I should have been.
So I've been messing around with these new points to try and get things a little bit better, what I've been focused on, I was on about earlier on. Yesterday, in 20 minutes, I had 15 180s. So that
15 180s with the new
minutes.
Points.
Yeah, I'm like,
and they're not even the new darts; they're just new points.
Just new points. Yeah. So
are they legal?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Are you sure they haven't got a tracker on them?
Well, I hope not. But yeah, they're good. Now getting that to work in a match.
Yeah.
That's the next thing.
Yeah.
But there's fine lines. Sometimes that work that you do in practice just doesn't come through on the match, and you have to revert back.
And at what match do you implement them?
Yeah, you've just got to go.
Because everything matters. Every competition you play matters.
You just got to go all in. Just go for it. That's it. Go for it. So I've ditched all my old points now. All my darts are now made up with these new points. I've got no way of going back unless I go and drag some of my darts out and and repoint them, which is a operation in itself. Like, so I don't want to do that. Just stick with these.
Where even sells them in Scunny?
There is a shop in town that sells stuff.
The place I used to get darts from, and this will ring a bell with you, it was next door to the indoor market. It was a trophy shop.
It was, Humberside Trophies.
Humberside Trophies, yeah. In between there and Brian Wright's.
Yeah, that's it. And it became Cobwell, is it Cobweb Crystals or something like that?
Possibly, yeah.
That's where it is now in town, yeah.
But everybody bought darts from there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Before Argos.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Matt Tierney had that shop.
Was it?
Call him Matt, yeah.
Yeah. God bless the old Scunny shops.
Yeah.
Do you know how many combinations there are for a 9 dart?
I don't, but I think it'll be in its hundreds.
Oh no. I was staggered at this.
Yeah.
Two facts I've learnt recently which have just... One is the capacity on centre court. What do you reckon the capacity on centre court is?
At Wimbledon?
Yeah.
7,000.
It's 20 odd.
Is it?
That's just nuts,
Don't look that... Yeah.
Yeah, it does all that. And then this other one is, so there are 9,344 different combinations to get a 9 darter.
And do you know the best combination?
No, I want you to name them all.
Oh, yeah, right. How long you got? the best combination for me, because 501 is 3 167s. So treble 20, treble 19 and bull 3 times would be the perfect 9 dart finish, because you've got no darts clicking off another one. They're all free darts, and you can do it like that. Or if you want to make it a bit easier, 3 treble 20s, 3 treble 19s, and 3 bulls.
If you want to make it, easier, are you taking the piss?
But that would be the ultimate to do that. Obviously, I don't think that's been done. There's a couple of people tried it and got reasonably close to it, but it's never been done.
Did you? Here's a question for you that has just absolutely come to my mind there. So I wasn't bad at darts as a kid, because like yourself, I spent a lot of time in the pub with my dad. And at Winterton Show, they used to have these stalls, and you got 3 darts for, it would have been 20 pence or something, then 3 darts, and if you hit 3 separate whites, you got a bottle of pomade, which was about 4 or 5% shit alcohol. So I was the best dart player out of my group of mates. And I still can't believe we'd have been about 10, certainly no older than 11. And I'm winning bottles of pomade. And they're giving it to us. And we're getting wankered behind the big top. So did you ever win them things at the show? You must have had dozens of goldfish on a weekly basis.
I can remember being about 14 or something. I went to Winton Show, and a lass come up to me and she said, I've seen this teddy on this darts thing. Could you win it for me? I said, yeah. I said, you pay for it. And I said, I'm not guaranteed, but I'll probably win.
You old romantic, you. You pay for it.
Yeah, that's how we do it. So anyway, I win it. And she got the big teddy, and I had 3 like that. So I won these 3 big teddies, and obviously he's only got so many around the top, hasn't he? So I'll come up there again. I said, can I have another go? No. And he's got a pen, and you can hear it squeaking as he's writing. And it turned around, no more than 3 wins. That's what it tells me. No more than 3 wins. Oh, crap. Yeah, so they made that rule for me and banned me from playing that.
Here's the other one for you, because this absolutely drives our lass mad. So during winter, if we have a fire in front room, and we're having the odd little chocolate or something with a wrapper, it's up to me to chuck the wrapper over the top of the fire grate, and if I get it in the fire, I make a noise of like a football stadium, like, yeah. When you're at home, do you throw like tea bags at the bin and shit?
I do it all the time.
All the time, but do you make a noise of a crowd when it goes in?
No. Do you think I should?
It makes all the difference. Yeah, it revs you up.
Yeah, I might start that.
I mean, I'd stop yourself at high-fiving yourself because, to be
Yeah.
honest, I looked a bit of a cock at that point.
Doing a streaker as well.
Yeah.
Stop doing
And
that.
I'd written a speech, and basically all I've done is get a tea bag in a fucking bin. But I can just imagine you, tea bags. Don't even want a cup of tea. I want 3 bags.
Yeah, it's always good fun. That I remember I was at work once,
Because it is a
years ago,
skill.
I'd done that.
I've
Yeah.
got a bin in here, and I sit there. You can't see this in the studio, but I'll sit there, and rather than just put the stuff in the bin, I'll try and get it in the bin over my shoulder. And when it goes in, honestly, it's a better feeling than sex. That's probably an age thing. Here's a question for you. What's a better feeling? Hitting a 180 or hitting your kids?
Well, I've only ever done one of them, so.
Have you?
Yeah.
And you got them back? As in the darts, not your kids.
Yeah.
Fucking hellfire.
Yeah, every time, yeah.
Right, before we break bread on the next section, we're just going to take a little break. And when we come back, I've got some very intriguing questions to ask Dave about the history of darts. And let's test his knowledge. So we'll catch you all in a little bit. All right.
1 hour and 80.